All right, guys, we are live and on Facebook as well as other platforms. And Andrew Franklin and I are here and joined by, let's see, I know the guy on my right, Justin Nelson, but I think it's younger brother or older brother. I'm not sure
Just,
what it is.
just a little older, just a little older, not much.
Just a little older, like probably, I'm guessing 12, 13 months, not a whole lot. Mr. Mike Nelson has joined us, not just here on the Zoom or for this conversation, but officially has joined us at eXp Realty. First of all, welcome, buddy.
All right, well, we're super stoked. We're super stoked. Thanks, guys, for bringing us in today. I'm super excited to talk a little bit about this. So
awesome, man. We're excited. Andrew and I have talked a lot. Fred too, as you guys know, Fred's a little under the weather and couldn't join us today, but man, we're all so excited about this. So Justin joined eXp Realty quite some time ago, and I guess it's like the big brother thing where you just got to like check it out first, make sure he made a good decision.
that's exactly it. So, different times, and I think every business person has their opportunities to make change when it makes sense to them. Can we look back and say it was a window of opportunity perhaps we weren't ready for yet would have been rewarded much more handsomely, shall we say? Absolutely, right? However, based on where I was at the time as the MAPS coach and interim OP and some things like that, I wasn't really ready to shake it all up for that. It was a great transition point for Justin at the time because he was leaving the team and going and exploring some other avenues of opportunities in business. So anyways, yeah, I wanted to watch the big boys and girls like yourself show me that it works.
That's awesome, man. I love that about you, Mike, because during this whole process, like, I think what you just said, my first question was gonna be like, why now? Time, but it sounds to me like it's timing, right? I think that's what it always is. But man, you run a really good, respectable business. It's not a small business by any means. So which means it's not easy. It's not easy to make a decision like this. It's not easy to actually make a move like this. Was that a hard thing for you? And why do it now? Because things have been going really well, man.
Yeah, that's a great question. So for us, it's a larger organization. I say that 15 to 20 agents, 6, 7 expansion locations. I think we were getting bogged down in some inefficiencies in just the current model. And so we saw a better opportunity, not only from a team agent perspective benefit, but also just an efficiencies type thing. So for us, honestly, it didn't take long. I kind of snuck under the cloak in November to eXp Con. Obviously kind of attended one of you guys' masterminds. I'm a researcher. Like, I'm going to dig in to find holes in things. I'm a numbers guy too. I don't get just sold, as you guys have had a few conversations with me over 2.5 years. Not that you sold me on anything, but I'm going to be a guy that kind of researches and does the homework first. And I value a lot of what Justin says. He's a great, young, sharp kid that is usually on the forefront of a lot of things. And so, that leans a little bit that way as well. So I think the question of why now is, I didn't understand the model. And I think you guys hear that a lot, right? We get fed a lot of like hyperbole from others. And it's kind of like, hey, they're just a recruiting company. And you buy into those kind of things. And so until you actually sit down, and even 2 years, I didn't literally look at the model. I know Andrew and you, I think about 6, 8 months ago, kind of sat down with me and really broke it down into a pro forma. That started the cogs in motion of trying to understand at a deeper level versus these superficial, high level, like little defensive words that are thrown at you, right? And so once we understood the model deeper, I'm an agent focused guy first. I want what's best for our agent partners before I care about what's in it for me. And so when I looked at it from an agent partner perspective and the value in there, I know you guys, you have genuine hearts, you're servant first guys. Our team didn't know that at the time. I did that. That was put to rest for me a long time ago. It was really the model of the team from the eXp perspective and what value and benefit did it bring them.
Yeah, that's awesome. And obviously a big part of this is, Mike, is the fact that we all get to work together and truly become partners. And the guy who's, I don't know where you're at on the screen looking at it, to me, you're on my left, Andrew. Andrew's like, he's just been an amazing partner to us. And obviously I know you've got to know him and respect his abilities and knowledge and information as well. And his willingness to just give and give. So I know that was a big part of it. And Andrew and Mike, Andrew and Justin have got a long-standing relationship as well. So Andrew, anything you want to throw in here about Mike kind of finally joining the family, if you will, officially?
Yeah, it's funny, man, because I met both Mike and Justin through you guys a long time ago in your office in Scottsdale. That was the first time I met, and we instantly became friends. We shared an Uber together, and I'm like, man, I really like these guys, and we've always stayed in touch. And so as you were exploring this, you were very methodical, and just like me, spreadsheets and numbers and all that. But the coolest thing about all this is you and I would talk maybe once a quarter. Now, 2:00, we had a call. We were talking last week. We're going to be in Dallas together on Friday, and then headed to San Diego together, me, you, and Justin. And so what I think people don't understand about this model that maybe you can pipe in on, since it's only been a couple weeks, is how the business partnerships really take your relationships in the industry to a new level where it becomes a daily basis kind of conversation. So it's been a couple weeks since you've been officially on board. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I think it's one of those things at the company that you don't experience until you're here.
Absolutely. The collaboration I knew about, the rest of the team didn't know. And what I found really important with that is one of the things you struggle with a little bit is when you stay local city and you stay at a singularly identified kind of building location, your training is great. Do not get me wrong. I will never say anything negative about KW. Everything was exactly built me to where exactly we are today. However, with that, I started buying into Metrics Mastermind with Ben Kinney and Brian Gubernick, going out to Kevin and Fred's Think Bigger type or Think Differently type think scenarios, right? Masterminds. That was for me. I needed something that I could get the agents into to fill their buckets in the big thinking world. Yeah, Mike can sit here and say, agent partners, I learned this at the conference and this and that. But to bring an Andrew in, to bring a Fred and Kevin in, to bring a Shelly Cooley in on Andrew's team, the collaboration is much more impactful and powerful. So that was a really neat opportunity for us that I found in other environments. A lot of the elite hang around the elite, and they're not as open sometimes. And I get it, schedules, we're all busy, that kind of stuff never really permeated down through the rest of the organization. The last 2 weeks has been permeated from 7 of our agents joining Sphere Rocket at Justin's invite, and some additional opportunity for them to come financially, just gave them some capabilities to be able to come to that. The conferences that we're going to this week and some things like that has just been like, the collaborate. I always knew you guys were there for us no matter what, yet the team has now totally bought into this collaboration.
Yeah, it's a whole, I think, to Andrew's point of that question, which is it's really hard to even comprehend until you've started to experience it. And that is, at the end of the day, that I always call it, that's the secret sauce of this company. Not everybody, we get the reputation of this recruiting company. Not everybody participates in revenue share, but everybody absolutely benefits because of revenue share, because it aligns all of our interests to help us out. And Justin, I got to ask you this question, buddy. So, all right, cat's out of the bag. Mike's really your dad, not just your slightly older brother. Dude, how does it feel to seriously, like, your career started off kind of basically just going to the office and helping Mike out, and then you had a much different role on the team, and you've started an amazing business of your own with Sphere Rocket and so many other things. Like, how's it feel to have your dad join you at eXp, buddy?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously, when we announced it this week on stage at Sphere Rocket, I kind of said in a roundabout way, I knew when I left the team, I took a massive risk that we may never work together again in a business format. And so just to have that opportunity again is very grateful for and very blessed for. So, where it goes from here, who knows, but we're back in alignment, and obviously we both benefit from each other's success. So super excited to be back in that realm together. While I think eXp provided us a realm that ultimately KW's model, and it's nothing against KW, was the reason why we split. right? I wanted to go and do things that were, multi-state, multi-international, and, do things where, when I was doing those things, it wasn't benefiting his team. It was taking my time, but I was still getting paid. And so we couldn't find a way that made sense where we could each make a lot of money, but still be in connection with each other while still pursuing our passions, where eXp now has allowed me to do that. I mean, I don't really sell real estate. However, I get the opportunity because of this company to help more people in other realms, which means he makes more money, I make more money, and, everybody wins together inside of each of our organizations.
Absolutely. Great answer there, Justin. And dude, I'm so excited. So Mike, we'll start to round this down. Before we do that, I know there's people watching. They're thinking, okay, Mike Nelson went to, it's one thing with Justin does crazy things, but Mike, that guy's level headed. He was an OP, he was a map coach. Like what, they're going to reach out to you, man. So number one should people just contact you here on like Facebook? Should they text you, Facebook message you? What's the best way for people to reach out to you?
Yeah, that's great. They can just reach out to me, and I can also put my Calendly link on there if they want to connect and just schedule a meeting or whatnot. Happy to do that.
Awesome. So
yeah, go ahead. I mean, if we want to put it here, it's 720-999-6818 or Mike Nelson, ihg@gmail.com. I'm an open book. Like you guys, anybody that knows me knows that I'm not a salesy guy. I'm just going to tell you the business and why we made the decision. And that's really what's important to me. What makes sense for your business is really critical.
Awesome. Well, I'll leave you. I've got one last question I'll leave you with. And if Andrew wants to add anything on top of it, which is like, what's the one thing that you want to share with somebody you want to make sure that you share today here on this video that whether it's just be about why you made the move now, the timing, or what you see coming up in the future for you? Like, what's that one message you want to be able to get out today?
I would say eXp accentuated it. Yet I've known for the last couple of years who you surround yourself with matters. That is critical. If you want to get to the next levels, you've got to grow and get into those circles of those just ahead of you. Like Andrew's light years ahead of me. Let's just be clear. However, he's okay with being in my circle, right? And Justin is light years ahead of me. Yet that circle is critical. And I've had other people in eXp that are Jake Hinder. Jake Hinder through Andrew Franklin, I was in Puerto Rico, says, hey, come on over to my house, meet my wife, meet my kids. That's walking the walk, guys. That's walking the walk to me. It's not sitting here sales pitching. It's not this. So to me, it was the culture was powerful. And the fact that Jake Hinder was willing to meet with us, and Andrew Franklin, even before coming to eXp, was willing to open his playbook of his builder trade program. All of those things, that's who I am. I believe you better say what you're going to do. Don't just give me a BS sales pitch, because I will cut you out of my life if you just sales pitch and you don't stand behind what you say you do. That's critical. And I think the last thing I'd say is clarity. Turn out the noise, right? People are going to be naysayers in everything you do. They're going to have their little they're recruiting. They're stock heavy, so they're going to implode one day, whatever, right? Turn out the noise, make an independent decision based on the facts of the business model. It may not be for everybody. Let's be clear. I believe it's for 95% of the people, but it's just like joining the team. Here's a model. Here's what we do. I think it makes sense. You may not. That's okay, right? At some juncture, you will be at a time in your career where it does make sense, I believe.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, Mike. I appreciate that. Andrew, anything you want to share before we get going today, buddy?
The only thing I want to say is welcome, man. I've respected y'all's business and more importantly, the friendship we've had. And I'm so excited to take it to another level, both on the business side, but the friendship side. Just looking forward to this week and just respect the hell out of the way you guys handle yourselves. And I'm just excited for this next adventure together. So welcome officially to the family.
Thank you. We're going to buckle up and let's go.